Welcome home. We at the New Jersey State Bar Association are very happy you have returned safely to New Jersey. We are very thankful for your service to this country, and we appreciate the sacrifice you have made. As you reconnect with your family, friends, and employers, you may find that you have a variety of legal issues to deal with. You may have health and disability benefit matters, you may have financial and banking matters, or you may have family and child custody or divorce matters. We at the New Jersey State Bar Association stand ready to help. We have created the Military Legal Assistance Program. This program provides free legal advice on any area of law you may have problems in. We have volunteer attorneys from across the state from most of the major law firms and small law firms ready to help you. You made sacrifices for us and for our country. We now stand ready to assist you.
The judiciary is focused on the needs of the men and women who have served our nation. We are pleased to work with other agencies to address the needs of veterans who come in contact with the criminal justice system. Veterans and their families have made sacrifices in defense of this nation, and we should provide them with appropriate services and support.
The program has a track record for helping soldiers with a myriad of legal problems. Our attorneys have helped soldiers like you appeal disability determinations to make sure you are properly compensated for your military career. Resolve family matters like divorce, custody, and child support arrangements. Address reemployment issues, making sure you have the same opportunities in your civilian position that you had before you left. And handle debtor and credit issues.
We are pro-Army, pro-soldier, but there aren't sufficient numbers of lawyers to go around to aid, particularly members of the reserve components. There is no inconsistency between the military chain of command, both from a military standpoint or a legal standpoint, and being part of our program. We are there because military lawyers cannot go to court on behalf of soldiers. That's where the civilian lawyer comes in, and that's why I thought this program would be of value and was needed by the soldiers.
Among the soldiers helped is Sergeant James Lawler, a New Jersey National Guardsman who returned from Iraq after his vehicle was hit by an IED in September of 2005. Lawler comes from a family of soldiers. As a young man, he served in the Army for 4 years. Then he worked as a policeman and in security. After the September 11th terrorist attacks, he joined the National Guard. In Iraq, he escorted prisoners and dignitaries from city to city. His platoon logged over 90,000 miles.
We would go outside the wire just about every day, at least every day, sometimes 2-3 times a day, and do missions where we would do detainee transfers, we would do pickups, releases of detainees from every detention facility in Iraq, whether they were up north in Kirkuk or down south in Baghdad and everything in between.
Now his days are a blur of doctor's appointments. He came home with numerous injuries, including a shattered ankle, is in therapy for cognitive problems, and under consultation to have his foot amputated. Yet when he applied for benefits, the Department of Defense found he was partially disabled and unfit for duties because of his injuries. He was medically discharged, which left Lawler worried about the future.
Everything I did before is done. My employment, my hobbies, my extracurricular activities, all involve my body, and now it's over. I'll never be able to do that again. So I have to literally reinvent myself from the ground up.
Sergeant Lawler is a perfect example of, in my view, where the need for a lawyer as part of this program had an optimum result.
Many soldiers prior to discharge are put in the Warrior Transition Unit. Under the law, you can spend up to a year there getting medical assistance while the Army sees whether you can stay an active member. You are given a medical evaluation, which determines whether you are fit or unfit. If determined to be unfit for combat, you get a physical evaluation and are rated by percentage of your disabilities. Anything under 30% means you are entitled to a one-time lump sum payment based on a formula that takes into account your years of service. Anything over 30% gives you a disability pension and entitles you to health insurance for you and your family for life. To appeal that percentage, you can request a formal hearing at Walter Reed Army Medical Center. Disability appeals are just one of the issues returning soldiers face. The rest can run the legal gamut. Jobs and reemployment matters are a concern many confront when they come home.
They started out, have normal everyday problems that we all do. Then a real crisis. They're uprooted from their families and also their jobs. Now, as far as their jobs are concerned, let me give you one example. You're a sergeant on a mid-sized police department while you're over serving in a war zone, making the ultimate sacrifice to this country to protect us. They have a lieutenant's position that comes open. They test for the position is filled. You now return a year later, and an opportunity that you may never have again for 10 years has passed. Well, there are laws to protect you.
Other issues might include family matters like custody, divorce, and child support.
I think the thing to keep in mind is that family law issues are civilian issues. They're not military issues. And so a soldier coming back from deployment is going to need the assistance of a civilian lawyer as opposed to a military attorney. For example, a husband and wife get deployed, there's a child, let's say, that's remaining behind. The question becomes who's going to have custody of the child. You have legal guardianship issues so that the person can make decisions such as medical decisions regarding the child while the parents are away. Those are issues that everyday people deal with.
Financial matters can also get tricky.
In today's economic climate, everyone is dealing with very difficult financial issues. In particular, when the soldiers return home, they may find that they no longer have the job they had or possibly the position they had, or they might have a spouse that has been laid off. So the soldiers in particular need financial assistance.
Here are some tips to get you started. Get a credit report for yourself and your significant other. Check all 3 major reporting agencies and determine whether all of the information and claims listed are correct. File objections if you need to, and keep copies of all your documents. If you suspect identity theft, notify the creditor, terminate the account, and notify authorities and credit reporting agencies. Let your credit card company know about your service so they give you appropriate credit. If your mortgage is delinquent, you might find help through federal government programs like Hope for Homeowners. Also be aware that if you go off active duty and your home goes into foreclosure, that the Superior Court in your county now has a mortgage mediation program that will prevent a judgment in foreclosure from being entered against you. As for Lawler, he's trying to figure out what comes next. He has plans to become an advocate for veterans and hopes that down the road he'll be able to go back to work. He believes that without the help of the legal assistance program, his prospects would be less promising.
I will find something to do, whether it's continuing as an advocate for other injured soldiers or going back into some kind of civilian employment somewhere doing whatever. Eventually I will, but right now it's just security I've got, knowing that that money's coming in and I have the time to continue to go to behavioral health and keep working on getting better until I can make that next step. I don't want to collect money from anybody. I want to do my own thing. So it's, that's my goal.
For more information, visit NJSBA.com, militaryonesource.com, and abanet.org/vetaffairs.